The strongest feature of Wave by B.M.S is the inventory control. Inventory is made up of items and transactions, and then the different reporting. So on the item itself, there's 4 different categories for accessing the items. In point of sale, all 4 of these are available and can be searched automatically. In the item master file maintenance, I have to select which one of these items I want to look at. If I know the item number, I can type it in and it'll do a search and it'll list all the items that contain that. Otherwise, I can put it in for description, say anything that has hammer in it, and it does a search and displays all the things with hammer. Same with alpha code and UPC code. There's also an extended search capability if you can't find it in any one of these 4 categories. The extended search lets you look up by any one of these different parameters, item number, alpha code, vendor item number, and so on. And I could do several different categories. I could look up for this vendor anything that has this in the description, and it'll search through it and put it up over here and then drop those into this search list down on the side. Alright, once I have the item, I have the item number. It could be 18 characters long, description, what department does this item come in, you can select that. How much does it weigh, what's the lead time. If I want an alpha code and just say I want to look this up by hammer. Is this item taxable or is it a different tax code for this particular item? What store, warehouse, who's the manufacturer? Hide is if you want the item to not come up at point of sale for whatever reason, maybe it's been discontinued, you can do the hide. Okay, so the different pieces of information about the item, I have the price tab. I could have as many different ways to sell an item as I want. I could sell it by the pound, by the foot, by the box. Here's an example of several different factors. I want to sell it by the each for $1, and there's 1 each in the factor. Otherwise in a pack, and there's 4 in a pack. Case, and then it can automatically do the conversion to the way you purchase it. So here's how I buy it, and here's how I sell it, and it automatically does the conversion for that. Here's the different costs, average, standard, or last cost. If this was a lumber item, it would also have the cost per 1,000. Here's where I have the barcodes. I could have as many different UPC codes as I want for an item. Let's go find an item that has a barcode on it. There's the barcode. I can just simply add it, scan another one in, and put another barcode on. Here's the different vendors. I could have as many different vendors as I want for an item. In this case, there's only one. The item number that the vendor gives it is available, so that information comes up through purchasing. This item comes 6 to a case. I buy it 6 to a case and I sell it by the each. The stocking tab gives me all the quantity information, maximum, order point, order quantity, how many I have presently on hand, how many are on order, how many are reserved by orders that you have in-house, when it was last sold. It even gives you previous sales information by month and how purchasing. Month to date, average monthly sold, and year to date is also available. So all that information is automatically captured from your purchasing and from point of sale. Lumber tab, if it's an item you sell that's lumber, like southern yellow pine 2x, I'm going to have a 2x4x8, and then I receive that by the board foot. It knows that there's 5.33 board foot in an individual stick of lumber, so it does the conversion. At $4.50 per 1,000 board foot, it would sell for $3.59. Serial numbers, there's 2 different types. There's no serial number for most of your items, but for things that you want to keep track of the serial number for warranty purposes, like power tools, you can click prompt at point of sale, and when that item is sold, the clerk is prompted to enter the serial number, and they can simply scan that onto the ticket and store it. The second type is required from a list. So if you have like guns or appliances where you need to keep track of what serial numbers you have in stock, you could build the list, and then that list displays for the clerk to select which ones they want to sell. Notes about an item, a good example for that would be a Mako knife. So I'm going to look that up by description. I only have one item. I'm not going to save the one I was working on. I didn't make any changes. So here the Mako knife, I have a note that comes up at point of sale that says suggest a sharpening stone, and it gives the item number, so all the clerk has to do is type that, or click on that item number, and it'll put that item on the ticket. So this is the point of sale notes. To the left here is internal notes. You use it for purchasing or whatever you need to know about the item. And all to the right are notes that will automatically print on an invoice, like hazmat information and things like that. Then the image tab, if that item has a picture, that's where the item is stored. To find it, you simply do a drop down and you can determine where the item is, or the image, and it will automatically pull that image up at point of sale. Components are kits or bill of materials. So a kit is a group of items that you typically sell together, and bill of materials would be components that are put together to make a finished product. The system can automatically handle the management of those items. So that's the information on the items. Then the inventory transaction entry is how those quantities come into play. The transactions are receive, transfer, adjust, or replace on orders. All right, so you can say I'm going to receive item number 100, and I'm going to receive 10, and my cost is now 55 cents. It'll reprice the item for you based on the margins that you've set up. And I can keep on going and enter all the items that I'm receiving, and once I'm done, I hit submit, and it adds those items to inventory and shows up on the inventory transaction listing as an audit trail. If I want to receive a purchase order that's already in the system, I just click on receive purchase order, pick the purchase order, and it'll automatically populate the grid with the items that are on that order. Then I can just make whatever changes I want to for that item, and it'll reprice it if I wanted it to. That's optional. Now, if I do this PO invoice audit report, it'll compare the new cost and price versus what it was last time. And it could show you that there's been a 28% drop in price. So it's an audit trail on the information it just said, and you can see it before you do your update. And then once you're done, you hit submit, and those items all get added to your inventory. All right, the other option on the inventory transaction entry is to import from one of your vendors that offers FTP file transfer for invoices, and that would be, you first of all import it into your system, and then you come here to go ahead and select it. Let's see where we have an invoice in here. And then it'll import it into the grid, and it'll do all the transactions for you. The inventory reports that you have is costed inventory report. All the different ways to cost it, how you want to do your summaries and totals. Do you want detail? Do you want to do it by warehouse, by vendor, by department, by bin location? All items or just items quantity greater than 0. The master report is exactly what it says. I can print by vendor or department. You can use it like a price sheet by hiding the cost information. Inventory transaction listing is an audit trail on all the items all the transactions that occurred for an item. It could be sales at point of sale, any receiving. You can say everything that happened to an item, or you could say only items that I received. So it's very robust on how you can do all that. Stock analysis report is a detailed report of the stock status for each item, how many orders you have in-house for these items. So basically, it's a snapshot of what your condition is on the different items, and you can sort that by department, vendor, and all kinds of other information. So that's inventory in Wave by B.M.S.